In today's update, we are covering the Iranian presidential election, Israel-Hamas ceasefire negotiations, Iranian influence in Lebanon, Gaza Strip military operations, West Bank clashes, Hezbollah's attack on northern Israel, and U.S. strikes in Yemen. Recent polls indicate that moderate candidate Masoud Pezeshkian is leading ultraconservative Saeed Jalili in the upcoming Iranian presidential runoff election scheduled for July 5th. The Iranian Students Polling Agency published a poll showing Pezeshkian with a 5.6% lead over Jalili. Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, who recently expressed views aligning with Jalili's policies, might intervene if Pezeshkian wins the majority vote. This election outcome could significantly impact Iran's foreign and nuclear policies, depending on who assumes the presidency. Khamenei's influence remains a critical factor in this tightly contested race. Israel and Hamas have resumed ceasefire negotiations in the Gaza Strip, mediated by Qatar and based on a US-backed proposal. Hamas has softened its stance, no longer demanding a full Israeli withdrawal in the first phase, which includes a 6-week ceasefire and the release of hostages. Despite progress, significant obstacles remain, with serious challenges still to be addressed before an agreement can be reached. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and US President Joe Biden discussed the new proposal on July 4th, highlighting ongoing efforts to secure a ceasefire amidst continuing conflict. Iran and its allies are conducting an information operation to deter Israel from launching a major military offensive into Lebanon. Iranian-backed militias, including the Islamic Resistance in Iraq, have sent military advisors to Lebanon to support Hezbollah. These groups have also warned of an escalation for escalation if the Israeli Defense Forces enter Lebanon. The Axis of Resistance's messaging aims to influence Western audiences and prevent further escalation. Thousands of Iranian-backed fighters from across the Middle East are reportedly prepared to join the conflict if it intensifies. The Israeli Defense Forces Southern Command targeted Hamas fighters in Gaza City, conducting airstrikes on 2 UNRWA schools used for planning attacks. The strikes caused multiple casualties. Additionally, the Israeli Defense Forces 98th Division engaged in close-range combat, killing several Palestinian fighters and destroying tunnel routes in Shujaiya. The Israeli Defense Forces 99th Division conducted airstrikes along the Netzarim corridor, while the 162nd Division cleared operations in Rafah, targeting Palestinian fighters and infrastructure. The Israeli Defense Forces Air Force struck over 50 militia targets throughout the Gaza Strip, indicating ongoing intensive military operations. Israeli forces engaged Palestinian fighters in multiple locations in the West Bank. Overnight raids led to the detention of 3 individuals for inciting terrorism and the seizure of propaganda materials in Tulkarm. The Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigades detailed the role of slain Jenin Battalion Commander Nidal al-Amer in recent attacks on Israeli checkpoints and military vehicles. Al-Amer was killed in an undercover operation on July 3rd. These operations highlight ongoing tensions and clashes in the West Bank, as Israeli forces continue efforts to curb militant activities. Hezbollah launched a large-scale attack on northern Israel and the Golan Heights, firing over 200 rockets and 20 drones in response to an Israeli Defense Forces airstrike that killed a senior Hezbollah commander. The barrage targeted 10 Israeli Defense Forces sites, killing 1 Israeli reservist and using Birkin rockets. Hezbollah's retaliation is consistent with previous responses to Israeli Defense Forces strikes on its top commanders. This escalation underscores the volatile situation in the region and the ongoing threat posed by Hezbollah to Israeli security. United States Central Command conducted strikes on 2 radar sites in Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen and engaged 2 unmanned surface vessels in the Red Sea. These actions are part of ongoing United States efforts to counter Houthi threats in the region. Houthi media reported additional strikes by United States and United Kingdom forces on Yemen's northern coast, though United States Central Command has not confirmed these at the time of writing. The strikes reflect the continued United States commitment to combating Houthi capabilities and maintaining security in the Red Sea region.